Well, good morning everybody, and welcome to my first trip to Johnson's Lake. Now this is part of the Godalming Angling Club that I've just joined. I've been fishing one of their other waters on and off on a day ticket for the last few years, and I decided this year that I was going to get a proper ticket, full ticket, which enabled me to fish whenever I want, basically, rather than being restricted to the daytime 8 AM to 5 PM when the gate closes. You know, you have to be off at 5 o'clock just when the fish are starting to feed. It's quite annoying, so I've joined the club this year. Ticket started at the start of this month. We're in, I think it's 11th or 12th July today, and ticket started at the beginning of the month, and this is my first opportunity to give it a go. So as I say, I've come on the lovely Johnson's Lake. Pretty large old chunk of water, 21 acres apparently, about 40 swims I think on it, something like that. I've chosen to go on what they call the railway bank, because the railway literally is just there, just the other side of this little pile of bushes there. So it can be noisy, but you know, trains just go by. Shouldn't be too bad. I've chosen peg number 20 apparently. The reason I chose it was because there's a nice, on the left hand side here, you may have just seen, nice little set of pads. So I've got two rods out. One's on pellet cone with a little fluoro banded pellet. That's alongside the pads. The other one I've put along the right hand margin because I saw a few patches of bubbles coming up, so I've got a feeder on that, method feeder. Again, same little fluoro 6mm banded pellet on that. Start off like that, start off in this swim, see how it goes. It's 5:30 now, sun's just rising above the trees, and it looks like it's going to be a lovely day. Progress report here. It's 10 o'clock now, and I've had one small rud for my efforts. I've been fishing since, you know, 5:15, so 5:15, 6, 7, 9, 10 minutes, nearly 5 hours, 4.5, 4.75 hours. There's been bubbling going on just down the right hand margin all morning, you know, big fizzes of bubbles coming up, and I just haven't been able to get a take. And in the end I put two rods, both of the rods on the area where I was getting all these bubbles. You know, there's lots of weed out there. I think that's the main problem. But finally I just got a take just now, and it whacked around, rod pulled around, and hooked into a tench momentarily. It was on for a little bit, and then it just got in the weed and threw the hook, and I just pulled in a few strands of weed. So that's obviously going to be a problem here, especially in this shallow area. It's very shallow. Fish are going to be diving in the weed if you're lucky enough to catch them. You know, nearly 5 hours for one hook fish, and I go and lose it. Anyway, God, it's just started to rain now. It's supposed to be sunny all day today, and now dark clouds come over and it's just started to rain. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish till lunchtime here, and then I'm probably going to move over onto Harris Lake behind me here, where it's a little bit easier to catch the fish, hopefully. I can always move back here later in the evening, so we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully I'll catch a fish soon. Right, well that's just about it for this swim. I'm going to knock it on the head in about 10 minutes time, after doing 6 hours in here from 5:15 this morning. All I've had to show for it is two small rudd and a lost tench. Although there has been, you know, bubbling out there most of the morning actually. I just haven't been able to hook anything, you know. That's been the trouble. Lots of weed around, you know. Every time I pull it in, there's weed all up the line. So what I'm going to do is cut the losses and move over to the lake next door. which is Harris Lake. Hopefully I'll get 1 or 2 tench, and you never know, I might get one of those magical crucians. Let's see. Right, well it's all changed then. It's 1:45 and I've just got myself settled on Harris Lake. I'm in peg 35, which I think's a reasonably good one. You know, there's some reeds out there on the island, so I've cast both the rods right tight to the island. I've got one on my usual banded fluoro wafter, little 6mm pellet, and I've got the other one on fake caster, just try something different. I've catapulted some small 4mm pellets all around the island there, and just settling down, and I've got, let's see, well, 1 o'clock, so I've got until, I'll probably fish till, you know, at least 8, maybe 9 o'clock tonight. So I've got 8 hours to catch a fish, hopefully a tench, but I really would like a crucian as usual. But you know, I'd settle for a tench on a day like today. I've struggled so far today over on the other lake, so that's why I've ended up here, trying to land a fish. Let's hope so. Well, here's another update. It's just after 3 o'clock now, so I've been here 10 hours, and I've still got nothing to show for it. I can't believe it. You know, I struggled down on the other lake, Johnson's, had those couple of little rudd, and lost the tench, but there was a lot of fizzing. You know, there was, I could see bubbles coming up all morning where I was fishing, but it's very weedy, and as I said, you know, I lost that tench. So a couple losses. Come up here onto Harris, which is usually a sure bet. You know, I've always caught one here, never blanked, all the time I've been fishing it. So I've been fishing it since about, I think it's about 1:45, half 12, 1:15. It's now 3:15, something like that. And I've had one rudd and 1 little roach. Tiny little things. That's it. You know, I'm not getting tench bites. I'm not seeing anything. You know, the wind's piling up the lake. Should be good conditions. It's overcast. Ooh. Hang on cue there. But that's about the sum of it. That's about all I've been getting. Just a little bit of it. And it's these little rudd. Normally I would be packing up in less than 2 hours time, you know, because I usually have to be off by 5, and I've done 10 hours fishing already, which is more than I would normally do on my day ticket, but I'm going to stay on, of course. I don't know how much longer I can stand it, you know, not getting any bites. We've had a few heavy rain showers come over, so I've had to put the shelter up. Luckily I brought it with me. But I'm going to keep battling away, you know. I'm in a decent swim. Loads of tench and crucians have been caught out of this swim in the past. You know, even last week I heard a report somebody had a good catch somewhere down this bank, you know, around this area. So I don't know what's going on today. They're just not feeding. It's just hopeless. For my first trip on the full Godalming membership card, it's been an absolute disaster. Anyway, there's still time yet, you know. I might manage to wingle out a tench. You never know. It'd be nice to actually land something half decent, you know, sort of 4 or 5 pound tench. It'd make my day right now. Not very nice out there. Are you joking me? Thought it was supposed to be sunny all day today.
got one. It's taken over 10 hours, 11 hours to catch this thing. This is the first tench of the day, first one I landed anyway. Nice little fish approaching, probably around about 5 pounds this one I should think. So it's about 4:15 now, so still got a few hours left, so let's hope that I'm going to get 1 or 2 more now. There are some bubbles coming up out there finally, so maybe they're starting to feed. Isn't it funny? You sit here all day for next to nothing, a few small rod, and then within 5 minutes get 2 runs. First one was that nice tench you just saw, which is around approaching 5 pounds probably. And look what I just had caught. It's not a giant, far from it, but it's a crucian. Perfect little miniature crucian carp. How about that? Let's hope that some bigger ones to come. I mean, this one, look, is only a little bit bigger than my hand, this one, but it still counts. So it's bang on 5 o'clock now, and this is usually the time I have to pack up and go when I purchase the day ticket, but of course now I'm a club member, I can fish to when I want. And I think what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to fish till 9, so that gives me an extra 4 hours, so I've got 4 more hours to go. There are signs of feeding fish now. There's fish rolling in the swim. Some of them are crucians, some of them are tench. There's a few bubbles that I can see coming up when it calms down a bit. The water's quite rough most of the time, but when it does calm down I can see the odd bubbles coming up, so there's a bit of activity finally. So what I've done is I've spommed out some hemp and a bit of ground bait mixed together. Spommed out 7 loads of that, spread all around the swim, and a few catapultfuls of 4mm pellets, giving it a good old scattering of bait out there. And I'm pinning my hopes that the fish are going to come on the feed in the last 4 hours. You know, I've had 2 fish very quickly, one after the other, having had nothing all day. So it's all in really, you know. Thought, put a bit of bait in, hopefully it might get them rooting around, and hopefully I'll get a few more fish. Time will tell. Save the best one till last. Beautiful 6 pound female tench here, right on last knockings. I stayed it's about 8 o'clock now, so I'm only going to stay another half an hour, hoping for, you know, a little bit more action. I just had one around about 4 pounds. I slipped him straight back, and on the recast within minutes this one took it. So it's been a long old day, but I come good in the end with this cracker. What a beauty. It's gone from the sublime to the ridiculous here. I've just had 5 tench in about a quarter of an hour, all on the same rod. As soon as I chuck it out there, I barely have time to put the indicator on, and they're taking it. So they're certainly going on a feeding spree. So what I've been told, that it's a different lake at night time, seems to be true. So yeah, five fish in 20 minutes, something like that. Crazy. I think I might have to stop on for an extra half an hour. Right, it's 8:45 now, and I'm just about to wrap it up. I'll give it 10 more minutes, so there's always a chance of another one. But an odd day really, you know, my first day as a full member. Got up here nice and early of course, and went down on to Johnson's. Didn't really do much good down there. Moved on to this lake, Harris. Didn't really do much good on here. And I was on the verge of calling it a day when a chap came wandering down the bank, a local guy, and he said he only fishes in the evenings. He comes down around about 8 o'clock in the evening and fishes till about 11 o'clock at night. And as soon as it gets dark, he says the place changes, you know, fish are rolling, and he catches loads, and he uses the pole, size 16 hook, small band pellets, just like I'm doing, And he said, yeah, you wouldn't believe it, you know, it does completely change. You know, all day the fish don't really get caught that much. As soon as everybody goes, you know, like I'm the only one fishing now, apart from him who's just started fishing. So just the two of us on the lake, and the sun's gone down, light levels are dropping, fish have gone on the feed. He said that the crucian's coming close too in the evening and into darkness, so I could see I might have to do a couple of trips staying later, or well, I guess I could stay all night really. I could come up here and do the night into the next day. So we'll see, you know, I mean, I've been catching a few tench now. I think I've had six tench all told now, so it hasn't been too bad. But just that one little tiny crucian, and I'm determined to get these crucians, you know. I mean, the first year I joined here, it was great. I was catching decent crucians all the time, double shots, you know. I had a 3-pounder and a 2.5 pounder at the same time, and you know, I had a great time that first year. But the last couple of years, it's been a struggle. You know, last year was a struggle. This year's been a struggle. I'm hoping to turn it around. So, next video you see from up here, hopefully you'll see me with a lovely crucian in my arms. Said there was time for one more, didn't I? It's about 10 to 9 now, and my repositioned right hand rod, I figured out that they're about halfway out, so they're closer in. I've been casting to the island all day, but I've been catching them in the middle, so both rods are in the middle now, and just got this one on the right hand rod. That's got to be it. I'm gonna pack up now. 10 minutes to go, and I'll be off.